boys and girls. This is teacher Rakhi from ABC Story Time. And today I would like to read you a book. The name of the book is The Gardening Dog. The book is written by Cindy Wume. So let's begin. There was once a little dog who lived in a rescue center in the middle of the city. But the little dog wasn't like all the other dogs. She didn't chase balls or bury bones or dig big deep holes. The other rescue dogs were lively and noisy and quickly found new homes. But the little dog was much quieter and a little shy. She had lived in the center for a long time, but nobody even knew her name. Everyone just called her the gardening dog because she loved to grow plants wherever she could. Come rain or shine, she was always in the rescue center, garden with her hat, her shovel, and her box full of seeds. One morning, a group of school children arrived at the center on a big bus. They tumbled off noisily, all except for a boy called Louis, who was the last child to get off. The gardening dog noticed that Louis seemed quiet and a little shy too. He did not join in when the children ran around and played with the dogs. Instead, Louis spent the morning drawing and the little dog spent it planting. When lunchtime came, although the gardening dog felt a little nervous, she plucked up the courage to speak to Louis. "What wonderful pictures," she said. "Your garden is so beautiful. I just had to draw it," replied Louis. And the gardening dog's cheeks flushed pink as a rose. Now they were both feeling a little less shy. The dog and the boy talked and planted and drew together all afternoon. When it was time for Louis to go back to school, he gave the gardening dog one of his pictures. And she gave Louis a gift too. "Water it and look after it," said the gardening dog. "If you watch and wait, it will grow bigger and bigger, and something wonderful will happen." Later that day, as Louis walked home with his mom, he told her all about his new friend and showed her the plant the gardening dog had given him. She said that if I plant this and take care of it, it will grow even bigger, said Louis. "But we don't have a garden, do we?" "We don't," said his mom. "But we could plant it here instead." Next to their house was an untidy patch of ground, covered in tall weeds. "It's perfect," cried Louis, clearing a special space for his new plant. He dug a hole, put the plant inside, and watered it, taking care to do everything the gardening dog had told him. After a few days, a beautiful flower appeared. It gave Louis an idea. The next morning, Louis went back to the rescue center. "Would you come and help me make a new garden by my house?" Louis asked the gardening dog. "Please, I would like that very much," she replied, and went to fetch her hat, her shovel, and her box full of seeds. They began by clearing up the litter, chopping tangles of bushes, and cutting the grass. Next, they dug flower beds, scattered seeds, and planted bulb after bulb. Then they watered everything. By tea time, they were both covered in mud, and their hands and paws ached. "I am exhausted," said Louis. "I am too," laughed the gardening dog. "But I promise it will be worth it. You will see, if you just wait, something wonderful will always happen." Every few days, the gardening dog left the rescue center to help Louis look after the garden and see how it was growing. Together, they tidied and watered and waited patiently. Whenever the gardening dog came, Louis and his mom would invite her into their house for a drink or to read a book together in front of the cozy fire. As the weather got colder, Louis and the gardening dog saw a big change outside. They left the garden to sleep quietly under a blanket of winter snow and kept themselves busy drawing and planting. I know what you will say, said Louis. If we just wait, something wonderful will always happen. After a while, the snow disappeared, and as the weeks passed, the sun began to shine nearly all day. Slowly, the garden woke up again. The gardening dog and Louis watched as the first small shoots appeared, then grew taller and taller into big plants. As the sun beamed down, the flowers stretched up. There were red ones, pink ones, yellow and purple ones, all stretching and swaying in the breeze. Very soon, the garden became everyone in the neighborhood's favorite place. They came to smell the sweet-scented flowers and listen to the birds chirp in the trees. It's amazing what comes from a little hard work and a lot of patience, said the gardening dog one evening, and Louis agreed. I could not have done it without your help. Thank you, said Louis. You have made everyone so happy. But the gardening dog didn't look happy at all. You won't need me to help you in the garden anymore, she said to Louis quietly. I will just go back to the rescue center. Maybe you don't have to, replied Louis. I think I have got an idea, but I just need to ask my mom. Then Louis turned to the gardening dog and said, Come with me. Your home can be here with us, said Louis. Then we can draw and plant and read with Mom every day. That night, as Mom settled the gardening dog into bed, right beside Louis, she asked, What is your real name? I don't know, replied the gardening dog with a yawn. I'm not sure I ever had one. How about Daisy? Said Louis with a smile. And the gardening dog's cheeks flushed pink as a rose. As spring turned to summer, the garden grew and grew. With the help of Louis and Daisy's neighbors and friends, it became brighter and more beautiful than ever before. And at the end of each perfect day they spent there, Louis and Daisy went off home together. Because, as Daisy the gardening dog had always known, if you just wait, something wonderful will always happen. That is the end of the story. So, the moral of the story is extreme shyness can prevent you from trying new things. And if you be little extra courageous and just try to say that one hello or take one step ahead and smile at someone, there are sure chances that you might have a new friend and definitely you will have more fun in life. That's the moral of the story. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.